Well, good morning. Figured I'd give you a shot from outside. Sorry about that. I was told I needed to do a video about this. So you want to drive those big things, huh? No, I decided late in life. I just turned 46. I've been working for Magnum for 6 months. Never driven truck before. Decided, hell, I want to drive truck now. My dad drove truck. Both my brothers, my younger and my older brother, drove truck. And I never wanted to drive truck when I was younger. Here I am, driving truck. So you want to get your CDL. A couple things you need to do first. You need to have about $200. In order to get your CDL, you must first go out and get your CDL permit. Now, let's back it up just a little bit. First, you need to decide how you're going to get your CDL. A couple different ways to do it. I'm going to tell you how I did it. Well, it's not necessarily the right way, but it also isn't the wrong way. You will be on the hook for a lot of money doing it the way I did it. I thought it would be a moral obligation. Turns out, it's a financial obligation. Well, needless to say, I'll be paying that money. I decided to go through the Swift Academy in Lewiston, Idaho. Good academy. Good instructors. You get yelled at a lot. You get yelled at a lot because they need you to listen. They need you to do what you're told. They need you to shut your brain off and do what you're told. Because if you don't do what you're told, you're going to fuck up. You fuck up bad enough, you get sent home. You won't get your CDL, and you're still on the hook for that money. So in order to go to Swift, I had to first get my CDL permit. Sometimes you can actually do it once you get there. I actually suggest getting it ahead of time. It'll take about $200. There's some tests you need to take. Read your book. Make sure to read the sections of the book that you're going to be taking the test on. You're going to be taking 2 tests minimum. One is for air brakes. One is for what is it? It's for anyway. It has to do with driving a trailer. So you need to read those sections. If you don't read those sections, you'll probably mess up bad enough where you have to retake the test, in which case you're going to have to pay more money when you go back to retake the test. And all you had to do was read that chapter. I actually suggest reading it more than once. Boring as fuck. I know. Trust me, I know. Because I read the air brake section like 4 times. Boring. Oh my God. Put you to sleep. I read the other 2 sections twice. Each. Why did I do that? Because when I went in and took the test, turns out I didn't read those sections. I failed. It cost me an extra $30 to retake those tests. Now, I don't know how much it'll cost you to take those tests, but it cost me $30. That was the initial charge. $30. Cost me an extra $30 to retake it. Read the book. If I'd have read the book, if I'd actually read those sections, I wouldn't have failed. So, yes, I went to Swift Academy. However, I never worked a day for Swift. Just to put that out there. Never worked a day for Swift. Now they'll let you know that it's a loan in order to go to school. This loan equals up to $6,000. So it costs $6,000 to go to school. There's also $750 that they charge, or at least they charge me, for hotel stay. 1 month hotel stay. That's an additional $750. So, totals $6,750. That's what I'm on the hook for. Is it a big deal? No, it's really not. You can work for Swift, and in that first year, it'll be paid back to Swift. But if you stay with Swift for a second year, they'll pay you back that money. A little odd, but okay. Consider it a bonus. A sign-on bonus, basically. Which isn't unheard of. $6,000 sign-on, not a big deal. It's not unheard of. Generally, you get 5. You can actually end up seeing more, depending on the company. Depending on how many years you've worked. I don't know. It just depends. So, yeah, second year, they pay you back. They pay you back that money. They give it back to you as a bonus. Like I said, I never worked a day for Swift. Not a single day. I didn't work for them for a reason. For a couple reasons, actually. The main reason is I don't like their training. When you actually get hired on. I don't like their training. If you know somebody that works for Swift, then you can ask them. I'm not gonna put it out there. But I don't care for their training. And so I came to Magnum immediately. I mean, I was on the phone with Tony Dahl pretty much the day I got back from the academy. And by the following weekend, I was on a plane to Fargo, North Dakota. So it was a good trip. But you got to know that getting your CDL is a life choice. There's several different routes you can go when you get your CDL. You can go long haul, which is what I do. I'm out for 30 days. This month I'll be out for probably about close to 50 days before I head back home. Some guys are out for several months at a time before they ever go home. 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. Right? You don't ever have to go home. For me, I don't really have a home. The only reason I go home is to see my kids and my grandkids. It's the only reason I go home. Otherwise, I'd just stay out. Wouldn't be a big deal. Your other choice is LTL, less than a load. Those loads, you could end up going out for a week. You're home on the weekends, you know. Then of course you got dedicated, where you're home every night. You could also do that. Then you also have to decide. There's 3 different routes you can go. Flatbed pays good money, but you actually work. There's a lot of work that goes into hauling flatbed. I didn't want to. I don't like working outdoors, so that's just not for me. You can do dry van or dry loads, just strictly dry runs, which I didn't. That's just not something I was interested in. I went with reefer. That's your third one there, reefer. I chose to go reefer because with reefer, I'm not limited. I'm not limited to just dry runs. I can run both. That's the great thing about the reefer. You can run both refrigerated loads and dry loads. You're constantly moving, which is what I wanted. I want 3,000 miles a week. You know? Maybe more. That'd be great. Right now, I run pretty much 3,000 a week. Pay? Well, it's good. It's damn good. It was good enough to get me a new vehicle, which I'm in debt to my eyeballs with now. Boy, that was kind of dumb. I don't know. No, that's choice of my own. Anyway, you know, don't let anybody tell you that there's no money out here. There's no freight. That is a freaking lie. There's so much freight, it's ridiculous. I have a load ready the day before or the day of my deliveries for my next run. I always have my next run ready to go. It's always there, which is great because you always know where you're headed. This load, I got a call yesterday for this particular load I'm on, heading to North Carolina. I wasn't quite done with my last load. That's what I say. I get a call, or it just comes across, one of the two, for my next load, either the day I deliver or the day before I deliver. So I'm always running. Starting out, don't expect high pay. I get paid 39 cents a mile right now. I believe I should be seeing a raise on this check. Like I said, I've been here 6 months. I've already gotten one raise. Granted, it's a penny. But you tell me, add this up yourself. What's 3,000 miles to a penny? It's $300. If I'm doing 3,000 miles a week, that's 12,000 miles a month. How much money is that? It's actually pretty good. Nothing I'll turn down. By the end of the next 6 months, I will be at 50-some cents a mile. So, working here in a year's time, I'll be making that 50-some cents a mile. So, don't let anybody tell you that the pay's not good. As it is, I get about close to $5,000 a month. Granted, I've made a little bit more, but it's not bad for a rookie truck driver, because I'm green as hell. I just told you in the beginning, 6 months. I've only been driving truck for 6 months. That's how long I've been doing this. If I can do it, you can do it. But OTR is definitely a life choice. This isn't for everybody. Not everybody can live, well, let's see, what do I got here? About 10 feet. And really, it's only about 5 feet, maybe. 5-foot box back there. You know, not everybody can do that. I've been living small for several years. I've been living in a fifth wheel, 25-foot fifth wheel for several years now. And so for me, it's not that much different. I got TV, I've got, everything I need. Everything I need is on the truck here. So, if you're thinking about becoming a truck driver, make those choices. Think about what it means. You're living in a box for days, weeks, and even months on end. Going home, you can go home as often as you want. They want you out for at least 3 weeks before you go home. But Your job is to drive, so therefore, it's a job requirement. Work 3 weeks. If you need to take a week off, you can do that. I usually take about 4 days. I used to take about 4 days off. The next time I go home, I'm actually taking 7 days off, but it's because my kids have their birthdays, and they're about a week apart. So I'm taking 7 days off for their birthdays. But it's a life choice. Don't let naysayers bring you down. If you're listening, if you're hearing people badmouth the trucking industry, you don't need those kind of people around you. If nothing else, just come out and experience it for a little while. You're not locked in, I would say that you got to give it a really good shot, at least a year OTR, if you're going to go OTR, at least a year before deciding, you know what, maybe this isn't for me, and then maybe going to LTL or dedicated, Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of driving the truck. A lot of people I was with in the academy were afraid of driving the truck. And it showed in their driving, in the way they drove. They were afraid to turn the wheel, or they were so afraid of screwing up that they would screw up by either turning too early or turning too late. And generally it was turning too early. You got to remember there's 53 feet behind you that you also have to get around the corner, and then there's those out there that haul doubles, granted, in the academy you don't haul doubles, you only haul a 53-foot trailer, but you still have to remember it's back there, and it takes a while to get the distance needed to get around a corner. But don't let it bother you. Don't let it get in your head. Backing up. Some people would like to say that backing is the hardest thing. It's really not. It's not that hard. It's a matter of remembering that left is right and right is left. What do I mean by that? I mean that if I turn my wheel to the right, my trailer is going to go left, to my left. If I turn my wheel to the left, that means the trailer is going to go to my right. That's all you got to remember. It's simple. So don't let simple things like that keep you from doing something you believe you'll love, believe you'd like to do. So, just some food for thought there. I'm going to leave my email in the down in the description. If you have questions, shoot me an email. I think I'm about done being loaded, so I better cut this off. I guess the other thing I would say is some people have a misconception of truckers being super dirty people. For the most part, truckers are not dirty people. There are a good percentage that are definitely dirty people. I've seen them. And I don't get it. I don't understand. Don't understand why. It's a misconception because every time we fuel up, we get points where we fuel up at. And those points go to being able to get a shower, because truck stops have showers. So if you, I mean, God, you could take a shower pretty much every day. You know? You pretty much could. Anyway, with that, I'm going to leave. Do some thinking. Shoot me an email. If nothing else, if you're really interested, especially if you're interested in coming to Magnum. Yeah. I don't want to be a recruiter or anything like that, but I'll give you information. Any information I can give you. Shoot me an email, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day.